Hello, everyone. This is Kimberly Miller, the founder of Healing with Excellence and the creator of the neuromuscular restoration modality. I wanted to record a quick video about what neuromuscular restoration is and how it works, because it really is critical to helping prevent chronic disease, reversing chronic pain, improving posture, performance, gait function, balance. And so anyway, it can be hard to verbally explain. It's better to demonstrate it for you or for you to physically feel it. So I'm going to try to attach a couple quick videos to give you like a snapshot of how the muscle assessment works. But basically, our body is like an electrical system. If you're having an issue where your breaker's flipping in the house or one breaker's not communicating correctly, an electrician might come in and go ahead and take his little sensor to see which breaker is not getting information electricity, or he might just check which one's flipped. But then he might have to identify what's causing that breaker to flip, right? Or let's say you're plugged in too many plugs and the GFI blows, and you have to know which GFI to reset. Basically, the nervous system is the same way for us. You could have an injury, a chronic stress, like an emotional stressor that happens, or an overuse issue, or maybe a way that you lift in the gym that is causing the GFI to blow or one of the breakers to flip. And it can look like your body's broken, but it's really because something is flipped off in the body or something is in hyperdrive. So, for example, let's say you get whiplash. Sometimes the brain will send a lot of information or energy, electricity to your neck muscles and make them very tone or tonic to protect your spinal cord. But when it's doing that, it kind of flips the breaker somewhere else. Like it takes away energy maybe from your glutes or your low back. Well, this could cause headaches, dizziness, knee pain, back pain, all kinds of issues that we don't realize is just coming from that neck overworking and other muscles underworking. So what I do is I come in like an electrician, but you're fully clothed. You don't have to change or take your shoes off unless there's maybe a foot problem. You lay on a massage table, and all I do is check which muscles are communicating effectively to the brain and which one is not communicating to the brain. And then when I see which ones that are getting too much electricity, and I kind of calm those down and then teach the other muscles how to come back online, like flipping the breaker back, everything starts to work again. But because the body's so complex, I have to help you identify what's causing that breaker to flip or that fuse to blow or the GFI to, need to be reset. I got to teach you the root cause so you don't have to be in my office 45 times for the same issue. So let's say it's something like your hormones are off and you're becoming estrogen dominant and it's causing your left neck to lock up. I have to teach you what's causing that so that way it doesn't keep reoccurring, causing migraines or, again, nausea, dizziness, that kind of thing, or the inability to turn your head. Now, maybe it was just an acute issue or it happened from a one-time situation where you stubbed your toe or you had that whiplash. But other times it's reoccurring due to something you're doing in your daily life that you don't know. So, for example, let's say someone's mid back is locking up or their diaphragm, causing them like a hiatal hernia, acid reflux, or causing GI issues. It could be happening because they're eating oatmeal every day or high fiber bread. Those two things could be loaded in pesticides. And when someone consumes too much glyphosate or atrazine, it can lock up their diaphragm, causing a mid back problem, a GI issue, narrowing of the esophagus. So once I do a manual muscle test and then I assess what's causing that problem, I teach you what to do at home to keep the breaker from flipping again, to keep the GFI in line so you don't need to reset it or so you don't need to replace fuses, and teach you what causes that to happen so that way, again, like maybe you have to come to me a couple more times for the issue, but where you're not living in my office needing constant corrections. Because again, like let's say your neck is working too much and your glutes aren't working correctly. That could cause a hip hike, it could cause a torque in your pelvis, and your chiropractor may need to put you in place. But because the muscles tell the bones what to do through the nervous system, if they put you in place, but the brain keeps sending the wrong message to the wrong muscle at the wrong time, you're just going to get right back out of alignment within a few days or a few weeks. So it's okay to have an adjustment, but if you need repetitive adjustments and it doesn't stick, it's because it's actually a neuromuscular issue where we have to check where the brain is communicating ineffectively, and then we have to teach the brain how to talk to the right muscle at the right time to where those muscles hold the bones in the right place and stop pulling them off track. Like a car that's out of alignment. We actually have to fix the root cause to what's causing the alignment or the misalignment to keep reoccurring. So that's the point of neuromuscular restoration, to restore the body back to homeostasis and to get it to stick as long as possible. And if for some reason, life throws a curveball at you and you get out of alignment again, or you have some unique issue happen, we just do another neuromuscular assessment and put you back into alignment and teach you how to keep yourself there. I hope that gives you a little bit of idea what neuromuscular restoration is. Check out the little sample video so that you can see. It is using manual muscle testing like most physical therapists would, but just in a different angle. And it's using a different type of reset to get that correction to stick. And each correction is customized to you. So there's no scripted handout like you do this extra, like you ride the bike, you do external, internal rotation, you do pelvic tilts. Nobody gets the same exact correctives. It matches exactly customized to your body. So 1 or 2 neuromuscular restoration assessments could be equivalent to like 20 PT sessions and or chiropractic sessions. And sometimes there's no comparison because if your professional is not looking to the root cause as to why it's happening, you could be indefinitely in an office and not actually get a return. And you could think that that modality is helping you stay above water, preventing you from getting worse, but it could actually be that modality that's preventing you from getting better. Like it's maybe helping you get by and or it's actually accelerating the problem. So what I love about neuromuscular restoration, it's identifying the root cause on many different levels. So that way, if you do have to do anything else with chiropractic, PT, or massage, that you actually get a real return on investment and the corrections stick and work much more efficiently and effectively. So please message me if you have any clarifying questions you'd like to ask. Again, it's easier to feel it, see it, live it than it is to just understand it through a verbal explanation. But I thank you for joining me, and I hope this gives you some insight into healing your own body. Okay, we're just checking the neuromuscular function of Frances's muscles because she said that she had this little bump on the top of her head, and it's right around where the jaw muscles connect, like the temporal jaw muscle, and she complained of left neck pain on the same side. So there's a kinetic chain of muscles called the superficial back line that kind of work together neurologically that I had a feeling may be not working correctly based on where this tissue is growing. If a muscle is pulling too hard in an area, it will kind of create the body to recruit more bone tissue there to create stability, kind of like a Dowager's hump. That can be happening here, but I didn't want to assume. So we just tested some of the muscles. So Frances, I'm going to try to lift here. I want you to meet my pressure and don't let me lift. Okay, and then meet my pressure, don't let me lift. And I'm lifting with about 5 pounds of pressure to see if there's a neural connection, not really testing strength. So now Frances, hold the magic button where that bump is at, and then meet my pressure here. And she instantly gets stronger. Like right now I'm pulling with much more force, much longer, and now it feels like nothing to her. She was trying to really forcefully hold me down a minute ago. Now I want to show you her lumbar stabilizer, her multifidus. Frances, meet my pressure here. Is not holding. Now Frances, put your finger there on the bump and then meet my pressure here. So neurologically, that muscle tissue is working for her lumbar stabilizers, her transverse abdominis, and her right glute max. So the force, and actually her left lumbosacral area. So about 5 to 6 different areas. So the force that muscle is pulling at to compensate for those other muscles on a neurological level is creating the body to recruit more tissue here to put support for that area. So now I'm going to go through and correct it, and then we'll refilm and send you that next little tip. Okay, after testing and assessing, we discovered that area where the jaw muscle connects and the left neck is attached, it's working primarily for the right glute at an angle, so kind of like the lumbosacral area. So it's working for hip extension neurologically. So what Frances is going to be doing is massaging the tissue here where the connection and attachment of the muscle tissue is, and then also in her left neck where it's been tightening up for a week or so, because that whole chain is trying to pull and compress, creating this extra tissue growth. And then she's going to do some reactivation of this glute to reverse this neurological pattern. The brain is misfiring, it's firing one muscle more than the other, and that's creating the extra pressure here. So she's going to do this for the next few days, and it will start to reverse that negative pattern and hopefully get rid of that extra tissue. Thank you so much.